happening, everybody? This is the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Harry Colley, and this is the latest Everton news. And we're going to start with a very obvious news story that's broken throughout the day. It seems to be gaining legs. There's a lot of media outlets reporting this right now, that Everton's new owners, the Friedkin Group, have been assessing Everton's direction and particularly the future of manager Sean Dyche over the weekend. Sky Sports News picked this story up. Other media outlets have been reporting that there are concerns over the team's recent performances and that talks have taken place now on how best to proceed. So this news comes, of course, after the weekend's defeat to Bournemouth. It's in a run now where Everton have ended up with just 3 wins in their last 19 games. There's a whole host of stats that we could pull up right now and talk about number of wins, about number of goals, about lack of clean sheets, about performance levels, about stats on where we sit in comparison to those teams below us that seem to now be picking up points when we look at the likes of Ipswich and Wolves. The reality is Dyche's days are numbered. Whether you're still in the Dyche in camp, I'm not sure how you can be, but if you are still in that camp, we know his days are numbered. We know his contract is up in the summer anyway. There were reports earlier in the week that the Friedkin Group were hoping that they could leave things as is until the end of the season, allow Dyche to see out his contract, allow a lot of these players to see out their contracts, and then really have a deep dive and an assessment and put in place a new strategy in the summer with the move into the new stadium. However, it does feel like after the Bournemouth game, the fan frustration is at an all-time high. We don't really know where the next win's coming from. I think there's even trepidation about the Peterborough game at the weekend. And we're now getting to the stage, my favourite time of every Everton manager's career, where we get to the weird and nonsensical phrases that they use when they know that their days are numbered. The football's not been good to watch. The performances and the results are not there. And Dyche's only defence is quite often his defence is the clean sheets that he's given us this season, largely down to Jordan Pickford, and that he's seen as a manager that can keep a team up. But looking at the table right now, looking at the run of results that we've had, we know that the league is poor. We know that there's this ever-growing divide between the teams that get promoted and the teams that get relegated. It's almost this merry-go-round of the same 3 that come up and go down each year. We can't rely on that every season. And I think we're getting to the stage now where it's a stick or twist, and I think the new owners are going to have to twist. So he did do that last season. He did keep us up against the odds with the 2 points deductions. But reality is we recruited this summer. People will say it wasn't enough or it wasn't in the right areas, but we had a relatively favourable run at the beginning of the season. The results didn't reflect that run. We've picked up some points in games that maybe we were expected to lose, which might be why some people still feel that he is the man to take the club forward. But we've had almost a fully fit squad now for the last couple of months. The excuses are running out. And what we've seen today is that West Ham are preparing a change. It's rumoured that Graham Potter's going to come in for Julian Lopetegui. So does that mean then that all roads lead to David Moyes coming back to Everton? Does Dyche get the Peterborough game? Does he get the Villa game in the league? What do you think, and who do you think would come in if Sean Dyche is let go by Everton's new owners? Elsewhere today in the transfer merry-go-round, the Daily Mail have reported that Everton and Crystal Palace are both keen on signing West Brom forward Tom Fellows this month. The Championship forward has 2 goals and 10 assists in 26 games this season. So I'm going to be very honest and say I've not seen much of this lad play. I try to avoid the Championship at all costs of fear of what might be coming over the last few seasons supporting Everton. So I'm not going to sit here and say with any conviction that we need to sign him or that he's not good enough. But what I would say is if the owners are having doubts about the manager, then I don't think that they're going to invest in anyone until this situation has been resolved or until the action has been taken. And even if you're of the opinion that Kevin Felwell is the man that is going to make the ultimate decisions on transfers and he has complete control over signings, then I doubt the owners are going to invest in anyone in January that doesn't instantly improve the squad. because the reality is we've got to have some instant improvement. Anyone we sign has got to have an instant impact, because rumours are we're going to have very limited signings in January, if anyone at all. And so I don't see us signing young players right now unless the price was ridiculously low and favourable. I think that's a move, if it happens, that would happen more in the summer. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with recruitment. On the other side of the transfer market, sources in Italy are reporting that Betto is very close to an initial loan move to Torino. There's reports of a burdensome fee and an obligation to buy the striker come the end of the season. Now, he's been spotted in an airport. There's pictures doing the rounds of him in an airport with fans. There's lots of reports that he's already in Italy. And then there's also conflicting reports that nothing's been agreed yet between Everton and any club in Italy. There were talks earlier, of course, in the year, last year, that he would go off to Roma, who are also owned by the Friedkin group. And for me, I think it's a bit of a case of he's been quite hard done by. I don't think he's been given a great chance. We've talked lots on this channel about the fact that really none of our strikers are getting a chance to thrive in the current system. Calvert-Lewin's off the boil. Betto's been off the boil. Obviously, Broja has potentially injured himself and put himself out of action for a while here. So do we let a striker go in that case? There's rumours, of course, Chimiti is off on loan as well. So what do we do in that situation? But if he's in Italy, then maybe this one's likely. So we shall see. That is your news for today. So what do you make of today's news headlines? Drop a comment under the video or follow us on X and drop us a comment there. Let us know your thoughts on the DYCHE situation, who you'd have replace him, and whether you think there's legs to these transfer rumours. But I've been Harry Colley. This has been today's news, and follow us at the Toffee Blues. Bye for now.